YTPC, Board Smoking Pipes here. It's Memorial Day weekend, Saturday, 2021. Right now it's a relatively cool 50 degrees Saturday evening. Believe it or not, I don't think I would imagine it being this cool. Especially approaching the 1st of June. Especially considering a lot of you have had up in the 90-degree weather so far. Talking to Mike up in Pennsylvania, Cane Rod. He was in the 90s up there. Been cool and damp down here. Got a load of the haunted bookshop in the unfinished 6737 alley. Of course, that's what's in the mason jar in front of you. I figured I'd bring out some of the newest members of my collection. Actually, one of them I've had for a little while. The smallest. But its shape resembles the other three, and well, I was going to talk about how they're related. Now, the smallest one's not necessarily related to the other ones, other than the fact that it was carved to possibly mimic them. The smallest one of the four actually is a K Woody. It is an Adjustomatic, which I just smoked today and need to do a little bit more cleaning on. I really enjoy this little pipe. Keep it in the car, able to clench it because it's so light. But if we take a look at the rustification on it, that's what drew my eye to this pipe. I'm a major fan of the Adjustomatic, where it screws into the stem. I am not a big fan of the drinkless, and this happens to be a drinkless stem that can't be removed, which I'm not going to hold against it too bad because of the way that it actually smokes. It smokes really nice for me. Like I said, I just used it today. It's gotten a pipe cleaner through it, but I'm getting ready to take it in and give it a good rinse down and, oops, my display fell. Give it a good going through and put it up in the rack and let it rest. I'll go ahead and set the K Woody up there. The next one, some of you may or may not know. See if I can get I don't know if it's going to focus or not. That's a Courtly. And now the information that I actually found on Courtleys is they are a custom-built second. They were actually promoted and sold as a custom-built second. The one flyer, I think it was on possibly Reddit or Pipepedia. If I stumbled across it, you can too. That was the most recent buy, and I have the pleasure of being the first person to ever smoke it. It was a non-smoked pipe. Age, I believe they said 40s to 50s. That was when they were being advertised. Taking a look, it is, of course, a push, but it's a diamond square cut stem just on just offset. It's not, corners are at 45 with the pipe. One thing I find interesting about this pipe, other than the fact that it's custom built, or custom built second, is the actual shape. If you look, they basically cut the sides down before they put in the rustification. So it's thin here. And I wondered, of course I'm just speculating, I don't really know, if possibly they left the thickness here and here kind of as a holding point. So it got me to thinking, how do you hold your pipe? Do you hold it like this? Or do you hold it more like that? I'm not sure that I hold it any two ways. May depend on the pipe. Such as this one, you notice I clamp on the side. And I noticed when I smoke this one, I tend to hold it more like that. I think possibly it might be because these on the side get a little warmer than holding it like this. Anyway, I was happy to come across this. It's an eBay find. To have that old pipe, have it non-smoked, I thought that was kind of cool. But anyway, the Courtly. Not a clone, just a second. Now the next one come in just prior to the Courtly. This one is actually a Tom Howard. From what I understand, and I'm sure somebody can give better details than I can, this is also part of the custom built lineup. This one I really enjoy smoking, but I have a slight dilemma. This was not unused when I got it, and you probably have a hard time seeing it. But right in here, there's a crack, which somebody tried to fill in. Goes from about here up to here. Now this crack does not pass light, and the pipe was cleaned out well when I got it. I've smoked it four times, 6 times. And what I find is the condensation start weeping out right about there. Of course, that makes for stained hands from the nicotine. Maybe even from whatever they used to try to fill it. But I'm guessing that might just be wax buildup in it, because it's not very solid, whatever it is that filled it. You can kind of see a beginning of the crack right about there. Now, posing the question, is it usable? Yes. Does that little drip annoy me? Yes. Would you alter it, being it's a Tom Howard original? Or would you just lightly enjoy it or put it up on a shelf and keep it? That's my question to you. I know what I would do, and I know probably what I'm gonna do, but that's just a thought. Thought you guys might chime in, give us an idea of what you think. Now, this guy, other than the K Woody's a couple months old, 3, 4. Sometimes my pad gets away from me. I really should log them all. This one is a genuine. Hard for me to see through the camera. There we go. Yeah, it ain't gonna focus. Anyway, this one is a Custombilt. Big chunk of wood, huh? I've been chasing Custombilts for better part of a year and a half. Got real serious about it about a year ago. But on eBay auctions, they tend to get pretty pricey quick. Any of you that's ever sought after them knows that. I guess that all depends on what your definition of pricey is. I happened to catch this one on a buy now situation instead of a bid. I caught it before another Custombilt collector seen it, snagged it. I didn't even have to think about it. I just hit click and said yes. It's a great pipe to smoke. I love the thickness of it, the way it fits in the hand, and it's so thick it's really hard to heat it up. Been primarily running burleys to it. Of course, that's the majority of my blends are just straight burleys. Then I have my English Latakia blends. I've not been running a lot of them lately. It's been a lot of Hunt Bookshop, a lot of Burley Light without a bite mixed with bamboo fly rod, mixed with Chantham Manor, a couple other ones. Oh, Sir Walter Riley. I really like Sir Walter Riley, but the Chantham Manor, if you remember, I was trying to figure out a way to get it not to nip at me so bad. Cutting it down with Burley Light without a bite does that very thing. Two of you have given me really good news, said that a couple places have actually gotten Carter Hall back in stock. I have yet to pick up a tub, but I'll be looking forward to it. Be interesting to see if my break from it's caused it to be replaced or if I fall right back in with it. I believe it was cane rod. I could be mistaken. That had tried to match it to it, and that it was really good. I don't remember if that's out of. I'm trying to think of the tobacco shop that was from. Milan, I think. I haven't purchased from them yet. I've been focusing on just for him. It's pretty much my closest place. There's supposed to be another place in Siloam Springs, Arkansas, but I've not been there. I think he's just a retailer, not a blender. Anyway, I'll get on here and share a pipe with you. Show off a couple pipes. Give you something to look at besides my mug. Sorry about that. I was running the pipe cleaner down this thing. Looks like we're going to have a cool Memorial Day weekend here. As a matter of fact, it probably makes it a little cool for people going to the lake down here. I'm sure they'll find a way and suffer through it. I wound up working today, and they thought we was going to work tomorrow. Oh well. 2 days is better than none. I was listening to stories on the podcast the other day on the way to work. I don't remember which one was telling it, but they was talking about 18th century, 17th century, somewhere back when there were body snatching was a real problem because of the high need for cadavers. People would actually do grave robbing and secretly sell the bodies to the schools and stuff for basically dissecting so they could study. So, as the story goes, there was a couple of grave robbers that were on their way back from hard night's work, got thirsty, stopped off at one of the inns, got out of their coach, horse-drawn coach, in front of the inn. The innkeeper's help got up into the coach to basically valet park it for him. The two old boys go inside, get their drinks. Valet's in the front seat, getting ready to pop the reins and get the horse moving. And he realizes the coach is not empty. He says, "Excuse me, ma'am, I didn't realize you were there." There was silence, no answer. He kind of thought to himself, well, hope I didn't startle her, scare her. Looks back again, notice she's in a nice white dress and a veil over her head. And he speaks to her again, asked her if there's anything he could do, anything he could get for her. Still, silence. So he proceeds to move the buggy, or the coach, and notices that she hasn't moved. He reaches back and asks her, "You all right?" And when he touches her, she's cold as ice. Then realizes to himself that he's in the coach of a grave robber. Well, being put off by this, he's sitting there thinking about what he could do. They're illegal, even in those times. And so he proceeds to take her out of the coach and proceed on about his business. Well, two grave robbers get back in their coach after having quite a bit to drink. Take off down the road, look back to see if their load is still there. See the dress and veil in the back seat. See that there's a body back there. They get a ways down from the inn where they'd been drinking, and they look back and the body moves. It is said that they exited the coach while the coach was still running. You see, the innkeeper's help had taken the dress and veil, dressed himself up in it, got in the back seat, and took the place of the dead person. At this point, he takes control of the coach, takes the coach back to the bar, or to the inn, buries the lady behind the inn in a proper burial site, and the grave robbers end up with no body, no coach. I guess the moral of the story is, be careful what you wish for. Nah. More like, let them rest in peace, or you might lose all your pieces. You know what? It was probably a lot funnier when they told it. Oh well. Strange stories. Sometimes it just doesn't matter if they're true or not. They're still amusing. Well, YTPC, I'm about down the end of this pipe. Wow, you couldn't see it, but I bet you could hear it. I got a genius doing about 50 miles an hour on a dirt road. Be surprised if they don't peel him out of the ditch. He might need that coach. Stirred up a little dust, you did. Alright, YTPC, y'all be safe out there. Old Ford signing out.